let's read number 12. The following text is adapted from Jack London's 1903 novel, The Call of the Wild. Buck is a sled dog living with John Thornton in Yukon, Canada. Thornton alone held Buck. The rest of mankind was as nothing. Chance travelers might praise or pet him, but he was cold under it all. And from a too demonstrative man, he would get up and walk away. When Thornton's partners Hans and Pete arrived on the long expected raft, Buck refused to notice them till he learned they were close to Thornton. After that, he tolerated them in a passive sort of way, accepting favors from them as though he favored them by accepting. So, which choice best states the main idea of the text? Is it A. Buck has become less social since he began living with Thornton? B. Buck mistrusts humans and does his best to avoid them? C. Buck has been especially well liked by most of Thornton's friends. Or D. Buck holds Thornton in higher regard than any other person. So let's go through the answers one by one and see which is the best one. So A says Buck has become less social since he began living with Thornton. But this is incorrect because the text conveys that Buck isn't social with people other than Thornton alone. But we don't know Buck's temperament before he lived with Thornton. So we do not know what was Thornton's previous experience or how he lived with other humans before he met Thornton. So therefore we cannot say whether he has become less or more social. Okay. And B is says Buck mistrusts humans and does his best to avoid them. This is also incorrect because Buck doesn't really care about other people. He's just being aloof. He's just cold and he walks away. But it doesn't mean that he mistrusts. That he just avoids them. It looks like. Okay. He doesn't really care about people other than Thornton, and he is aloof towards them. C. Buck has been especially well liked by most of Thornton's friends. This is incorrect because the text just refers to some random or chance travelers praising and petting Buck and Thornton's partners giving Buck favors, but there's no indication that these people are Thornton's friends. Only Hans and Pete have been mentioned to be friends. The others are just chance travelers. So we cannot really say that he was well liked or anything. A few of them who were chance travelers used to pet him. That's all it means. So D is the correct answer over here because it most accurately states the main idea of the text, that Buck views most people as nothing. Okay, so you can see as nothing. That would also mean that, in other words, higher regard is for Thornton only. Other people are nothing for Buck. The text explains that Buck won't acknowledge people other than Thornton unless they appear friendly towards Thornton. And he is only reluctantly accepting his friends also, Hans and Pete. So you can clearly see that the text focuses on the idea that Thornton has a special status in Buck's mind, with Buck holding him in higher regard than other people. For Buck, Thornton is the in highest regard. The other people don't matter to Buck at all. So this is also not that difficult.